What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So we are in the middle of a realistic difficulty playthrough, and last time we came here to Iron Ore Mine West as part of the end of a list of jobs that we'd done, ending here. And in this episode we're going to find something else to do. I've got myself a coffee, I don't know about you. If you don't, please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright then guys, so first things first, let's take a look at the locos we've got. So we've got my own DH4 at the front here. Yeah, it's in Derail Valley livery, but it is ready to go. We also have a rented DH4 here, which is looking not as nice in terms of the paintwork, bit of weathering going on there. And we've also got a DE6 over here, and she's obviously been along with us for the power. She certainly contributed a lot. We actually made a swap over as well. So right at the start of the run, 2 videos ago, when we left harbour, we actually had 2 DE2s at the front, but I established early on that the signal capacity there wasn't going to be enough. So we swapped out the DE2s and we picked up the DH4 as part of the run. And obviously she's got the signal booster installed, as you see there. So yeah, that was a nice little touch. And yeah, it was a nice run overall. In this episode, well, we're going to go and find something else to do. And what we're going to be doing firstly is getting these babies serviced. Now, we are disconnected there, so that's a good start, if I can say it. We'll just check the parking brakes are off. We're going to run the one DH4, the one at the front. So we'll just teleport across and release this parking brake, and we'll start her up. And we'll just put her into drive. Put a little bit of power on. And as far as remote, she should already be connected, and certainly she is. You can tell because the signal boost light's on there, so it's definitely this loco. And also there's no shortage of signal, meaning that we are in the loco that we are utilising the remote for. If it was connected to that second one or something like that, you would be able to pick that up at that point. But yeah, I think we only need one DH4 for where we're going. We're going to run back to Machine Factory in town, and we're going to do a bit of a service job on these babies. Now, what I'm planning is to head back to City South. Now, there might be some jobs that we can take to get us there. You know that I like the jobs. At the moment, we've got 331,000 in the wallet. We've already bought the parts that we need for the next part of our story, which is going to be to collect the SO60 boiler and the D6 traction motor from Machine Factory in town. And a few of you had asked me to take the rail car to do that along with the short flat car, so we'll do that as well, and that's going to be kind of what we do as part of our next set of stuff, really. But firstly, I do want to go back to Machine Factory. I want to do a few things there. As I said, I want to service our locos. So, let me get up on here. I want to service our locos, and I also want to pick up a few things from the shop. So I want to pick up some bits and bobs to kit out our DE2 in the same fashion that our DH4 is, so with the signal booster, the remote charger, what else? We've got the default detector in there and the switch setter. So we'll grab the relevant stuff to do that. We also need to get some more paint. We're actually short on paint. So I did say initially, as part of this run, that we would paint the demonstrator models once they were restored in the Derail Valley livery. And then, as we went on, we would then paint them in the demonstrator paint. The reason for that is just because I wanted to see them in their factory paint before we put the special paint on, the special livery on there. So, for example, I mean, like, look, here's one example, the 282. There she is in the weathered Derail Valley paint work, which is, I guess, black, dark grey. But you don't get that when you stick the demonstrator paint on, you get a blue, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong, the blue looks really good, but I do want to see the original paintwork as well. So yeah, when we get back to Machine Factory, bit of artifact there in the tunnel, now gone. But yeah, when we get to Machine Factory, we'll grab some more paint. We'll probably pick up some of both. You know, we'll pick up the Derail Valley paint and the demonstrator paint. I'm going to grab me a sip of coffee. We'll maintain a nice speed just on our run back. What we should probably do actually is just check the switches here. So we're running back here from Iron Ore Mine West to Machine Factory, and obviously coming up this way we should have this switch set already to the left there. What speed are we doing now? Okay, we're gaining speed, that's alright. I think we've got a faster section of track coming up, so we'll just bear with it a sec. We are going to be heading uphill, so we've got a 50 limit here, so we're absolutely doing fine, cruising along as we should be. Yeah, we are starting to head uphill now. 1DH4 pushing these locos is actually lost a bit of speed there. There we go. There we go. She's doing all right. Look at that marsh land down there. Lovely. We haven't picked up the micro shunter yet, which is over there somewhere. Don't know whether we'll see the garage from here through the trees or whether it's nicely hidden, but it should be just over there. In fact, it's a little way down the track, because it's enough of a little way down the track that you can actually make out a decent amount of track. Yeah, it curves around again, doesn't it? So yeah, a decent amount of track here on the map for that. So if you imagine that's the run up to the micro shunter, this is the run up to the slug, which we did. We've got a tiny little bit of track here going off to get the caboose, and it doesn't even show you the bit where you get the rail car. Right, heading into Machine Factory then. Bring up the right screen. Machine Factory, we are coming in this way, so that switch needs to be set that way. We're going to run through D yard, take us to the servicing bay, and there we go. Yeah, the other thing that we need to think about then is, depending on what we do after we service, do we want to change the configuration of what we've got here? So we've got a DH4, DH4, DE6. So I think this episode will comprise three things. The service, when we get to Machine Factory, followed by a quick look at the jobs that they have there, followed by a trip to the shop, I think, and then just a bit of prep potentially for the next episode. We've got a hot one in there. Just ease back. There we go. That's eased off. Didn't want any more damage than necessary, obviously, wear and tear, whatnot. We're obviously trying to maintain our funds, but we are going to have to pay for stuff like fuel and stuff like that. Obviously, we've got to run back to Harbour / City South, combination of the two, something like that. I don't know where we're going to be, how we're going to get there, but we're certainly going to take a job to get us in the vicinity. And yeah, we want to be making money all the way. Still got a lot to pay for. We've got a lot of licenses yet to unlock. I want your opinion on something though, guys. Somebody had asked in the comments section. In fact, I've had a few people ask previously, will Derail Valley come to console? I think that's a great question. You know, a few years ago I would have said no. It would have been an obvious no for a variety of reasons. But having gone through the last few years and seen the number of games that have now been ported across the console that were previously PC only, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, Euro Truck. It's coming to console at some point soon. Along with American Truck Simulator. It never would have been before. There's been so many games that have now been ported across that, you know, before the most recent generation of consoles, It didn't happen. There's no signs of it happening. I mean, examples of this are obviously like Train Sim World, which, yes, it's in its 6th iteration. It's ridiculous. I get it, but it's something that has created, made a way for a train sim to come to a console. What else? We've got the likes of Planet Coaster, which was originally on PC. We've got the Mud Runner games. We've got the what else have we got? We've got the likes of Transport Tycoon coming to console, which is, again, you know, an unheard of one. I mean, a lot of us obviously jumped on the bandwagon when it came to games that we thought were versions of, I haven't got any lights on, were games which were versions of games that we wanted to see on console. I mean, an example of that is On the Road Truck Simulator. Truck driver, sorry, and stuff like that, because they were versions of, obviously, Euro Truck Simulator, or trying to bring a version of that game to console where, you know, there was no chance of that Euro Truck / American Truck Simulator coming across. So those games took the opportunity, and unfortunately fell short one way or another, to kind of bring Euro Truck to consoles where previously there was no opportunity. Like, as I said, there's other games, Planet Coaster, City Skylines, etc, etc. All games that at one point weren't coming to console, and then, you know, came to console in the last, I don't know how many years, 5 years? I mean, I remember when I got the Xbox Series X, Planet Coaster coming across, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then obviously you had the iteration of Spin Tires come across, which was Mud Runner. I think that's us in. Parking brake on. Oh, door open. So yeah, what's your opinion anyway? I mean, the one thing to note is this game is built in Unity engine. There's other things obviously to factor in. The talk of the Steam platform coming to console at some point. Interesting. You know, I don't know whether that's just for Xbox's PC, you know, like their Microsoft's iteration of the pre-built PC, or what's going on. But it's all things to consider, you know. So previously I would have said absolutely no chance, and I would now say there's no reason why not in time. What I would say is, though, you know, this game has not had its full official release on PC. It's still in early access, and so there's that to consider. Okay, that's our two DH4s serviced. We haven't paid for it yet. So this will be the D6L074. Just pull these handles, get this done. But yeah, the devs need to, obviously, they're committed to this game. They've spent decades working on it already, but they need to obviously finish it off, don't they, and fulfill what they've said they're going to do, which I have no doubt they will. Right, there's our loco service, so they're now refueled and ready to go. So before we do anything else, let's head over to the office and see what's going on. What's your opinion, guys, anyway? I don't want to give my opinion too strongly at this point because I want to open the discussion, the channels of discussion. Let me know what your thoughts are. Looks like we've got some buses or trams there. Is that buses or trams? Trams. Okay, good. They're always a valuable commodity, aren't they? Moving trams around. So let's go take a look and see what jobs there is in here. And we'll also just clear the rest of those fees off, because why not? We've got the money. I know some people will be saying, well, let your copay go up. Well, yeah, but you still got to get quite a lot of copay up before we can clear the fees, and even then, it's still cheaper to manually service. Right, what have we got here then? So, this is emissions for our rented DH4. This will be emissions for our rented DE6. And this one will be our rented DE2 that we left at harbour. So yeah, standard stuff really. We'll get all this cleared, why not? All done. So technically, if we wanted to, we could take a look at the licenses. I mean, we don't know military-wise what's available here. Actually, it's worth a thought. Can we go in the office? I think we can go in the office still, can't we? Even though we don't have any of the licenses. Right, we've got some tanks there, and we've got some empties. Ah, we can go in the office, right? So we've got tanks. Now they're running up to military base. We'd need to unlock the military 2 license for that. So it's going to be some expense involved, but it's 65,000 plus obviously any time bonus that you get. 208 tons. What's this? So this is also a military base. Pushing nearly 12,000 plus time bonus. For both of those together, you're looking at 76 plus time bonus. Definitely worth considering. I'm not too sure how much it costs us to get the military 2. Let's have another quick look on the machine. See if we can see how much it's going to cost us to do both licenses. We've got 6 licenses left that we haven't unlocked. Oh no, 5, sorry. It's Hazmat 2 and 3 and then military 1 through 3. So it would cost us 130,000 to unlock military 2. Just quickly check, make sure there's no prerequisites here on military 1 or 2. No prerequisites for military 1. Okay, so it's not like you have to unlock hazmats or anything like that. Military 2 just requires military 1. So, 130,000 for that. Let's have a look, see what other jobs they are. Right, so we've got... Right, it is buses. 45,000. They go into harbour. What else is there? We've got some empties going to City West. So a couple of those together. What else? Oil Well Central. 21,000. Just remind ourselves where Oil Well Central is. So Oil Well Central is this station. So coming out of here, very close actually. Imagine that's probably quite weighty though. So 209 tons. Not much weight so far then, even if we were to take those 3. I mean, that is City West. Actually, it's not City South, sorry. So, we've got a drop-off thing here. Shunting job, probably not worth it for 2 drop-offs. And then we've got Sawmill, which is a deliver wood scrap situation, 460 tons. So with Sawmill, I mean, that, you know, thinking about heading down that way, I mean, it would take us past here, but again, we're heading in the wrong direction. We've had this before. We'd be going in the wrong direction to pick up the caboose. So heading out of here, you could do City West and Sawmill. What else is there? Okay, so we've got a pickup, 2 pickups, load and prepare train with city buses for departure. Now that's going to City West. That's 4. Now it's 20,000 for the shunting job, so that tells me that the actual job itself that would create is probably going to be pretty good. Right? Wow. That's going to be a good job. Going back to harbour. 11,000 for the shunting job, but obviously there's the shunting job and then there's the job that will create, which will be 3 trams. You're probably looking at what, 50,000, something like that, and then some tractors to farm. Wow, there's quite a bit actually. Wow, that's quite interesting. I think I wouldn't do that one. Probably wouldn't do that. Don't particularly enjoy the run to Sawmill, but it can be fun. mean, it's 10 cars for 23,000, maybe. So let's have a think about routes. So if we come out of here, Machine Factory, we head down to City West, potentially with the trams and the empties. We then head this way, Oilwell Central Farm. If we were then to go to, say, just bear with me guys, if we were to go to Sawmill, we would potentially then come round this way. This could be interesting, come round here. Maybe back up this way to keep things going forward. Or, you know, once we fit farm, we could just reverse. It's probably easier. And then come to Sawmill. I'm just thinking creatively here. And then across to Harbour. Does that cover everything? Yeah. 11.2. Okay, it's food for thought. And while we're thinking, let's go to the shop. I always think shopping is a good opportunity for some thinking. I'm maybe not going to make any decisions on that just at this time, actually, what we're going to do. In fact, we're going to have a look over on the yard as well and see what's happening. Right, what do we want here? Well, we want those things for the DE2, don't we? So we're certainly going to need a small mounting strip for the, you know, the signal extender. What else do we want? We want a large mounting strip for the battery charger. There's the defect detector. There's the signal booster. And what else did we have? We had the... it wasn't that, was it? It was the switch setter. Where is it? I've gone past it, haven't I? I must have done. It's either that or I've gone blind. Right, let's have a look. So we've got the headlight folder, etc. Headlights again. Proximity reader. Got mount, hammer, etc. What do we have over here? Headlight. More of the same stuff with headlights, etc. There it is. Switch setter. Right, there we go. So we just need now some medium mounts. Let's see. Actually, we'll pick up some soldering wire. You can never get enough, and it's only obviously 800 for 4, so 200 a pop. And the thing is we do go through it quite a lot, and obviously we're up to the maximum if we take another 4. We'll get sand as well. We'll get another 5 of those. Just keep those at the maximum. And I did say paint as well, didn't I? Right, there's the demonstrator paint. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one of those to give me the paint that I need if I want to repaint the DH4. You know what I mean? So I think we'll just chip away at that a little bit, little by little, because it's 30,000 to go. So I don't want to repaint the interior of the DH4. I'm happy with the interior. We'll just do the exterior, so that's going to cost us 30,000. There's the medium mounting plates. So we'll get 2 of those. So we've got 4 mounting plates altogether. We've got a large, 2 mediums and a small. That covers the remote charger, the defect detector, the signal setter, and the remote extender. All right. What else have we got? We've got the standard paint here. So that's 15,000 a pop. We can take 10 of those. It's going to cost us 150,000. Let's get 6 of those. Wow, I think this is going to be pretty expensive. Yeah, 166,000 we're looking at for this shopping trip. It is what it is, guys. It's done. All right, let's head back across to the shed quickly next to the station office. We'll spawn these in here. Wowzers. And I'll pop these straight into my inventory. So let's move all this stuff across a bit. We'll move that up, and same with this. I'll just pick these things up quickly, and we'll just move those up here. Now I'm putting them in my inventory so I don't forget about them. Obviously we're going to need these as well, the mounts for them. Whoops. There we go. And yeah, I mean, we need some tools as well, don't we? So we'll pick up the... that's actually, it says steam tools on there. We've already got our tools in our inventory. Wow. Hold on a sec. What have we got in here then? Ah, yes, so that's our steam stuff. So if we look here, we've already got our tools over there. My bad. Right. Let's stick these sand things here. Oh, it's a slow task, this turning around business. And we'll pop these up here, these paint cans. For now. And what we'll do next is just, you know, we'll go and have a quick look at the jobs to see what there is that's going out of here. In terms of the positioning. I think those two... I think picking up that tram job is a brilliant idea. That's going to generate a decent amount of income. Right, the buses are obviously good. Right, let's pick up the harbour stuff first. So harbour, you know, this is going to generate a job. What else was there? This is, okay, this isn't harbour, but it is City West. Right, so if we're doing City West then, let's do more City West. And then we've just got Oil Well Central to consider. Farm. Alright, let's be sensible. No sawmill. So, looking on the map quickly. Whoops, heading out of here, machine factory, heading down this way. City West, right? Onto Oil Well Central Farm. I guess. Then onto harbour. It's a pretty legit and straightforward route, isn't it? I think the sawmill one would have been interesting. We do have, obviously, more locos on hand as well over at the service yard. We've got what? We had a couple of DE2s and a couple of DE6s as well, so there's nothing to stop us from adding extra power. But is the extra power worth it for 23,000? I was just interested in this part. I think coming this way and then coming down here and back up there and round and through there, I think, and then, you know, running along this way to harbour would be quite a fun route. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. The chances are I probably would have recorded the next episode before I actually get around to publishing this one. But I think it's worth discussing just in case I haven't. So we've got some empties here. So what are we looking for? This is a load. And this is a load. So 8.8 and 4.2. 3.8. Thanks so much, game. 3.8. What else have we got over here? 8.8. Right. And there's a break there. So 3. That's the trams. Oh no. Oh, that's 2 pickups, that's why. Right, what's the other one? 4.2. Here's the oil cars. Oil Well Central. 0.8. Yeah, no hazmat license needed for those. Here's the buses that are already ready to go. 2, 3. So they're going to harbour, so they would be closest to the loco. What are these? Wood scrap. That's the ones going to sawmill. Got the tractors here going to farm. So this must be 2 lots of stuff here. 4.2. Nope. 4.2 and 4.2. Right. So that leaves 1 car somewhere. Because this is the trams. Okay, hold on. Right, that's 3.8. Right. This is 2 pickups. Where's the other car then? Of all the places in front of the tankers. Right, okay. So if we were going to do those 2 shunting jobs, it would require us grabbing those 3 and this one. Wow, this is kind of... something rolling there. Never normally seen them that far apart. And those. Grabbing those, you know, going in the loading bay and then dropping them wherever they are. Wherever they need to be dropped off. Those buses are in a bit of an awkward place, really, because they would be the first to be loaded on. Now, I can imagine the game getting us to drop something in here, which would be make things awkward. They would need to be the first thing loaded onto the loco because they're the last thing to be dropped off. So yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. I'll have a think and we'll decide what we're going to be doing next episode then. I hope you enjoyed this one. It is all that we've got time for. I'm trying to keep these episodes more succinct because I just realised I've done quite a few long episodes, you know, 50 minutes plus. So we'll try and keep it at a reasonable length for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the like button. Hit me up in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. What I will say, guys, is do take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you guys again soon.